Just Cheesy the Podcast, presented by Just Cheesy Productions.
Hi there, I'm your host, Fondue. In this week's episode, we celebrate National Cheese Curd Day.
Cheese curd.
We're going to learn the history of cheese curds.
Ooh.
We're going to learn about cheese curd events.
Ooh, yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit about poutine.
What?
And we're going to tell a very cheesy joke.
Cheesy joke.
Stay tuned for Season 2, Episode 22 of Just Cheesy, the podcast. So cheesy, according to nationaltoday.com, National Cheese Curd Day is October 15th.
Ooh.
And a trigger warning for all of you out there that, according to Wikipedia, cheese curds are moist
Ew.
pieces of curdled milk.
Ew, you said moist.
I sure did. This type of cheese is often referred to as squeaky cheese.
Squeaky cheese.
And the sound or sensation of squeaking happens because protein strands rub against your teeth's enamel.
Ooh.
And it can also be seen as a sign of freshness.
Fresh.
In addition to being called squeaky cheese, it can also be called crotte de fromage, which literally translates to droppings of cheese.
Ew.
Well, these droppings or curds are made from fresh pasteurized milk.
Yum.
Cheese culture or rennet is added.
Yum.
The milk curdles, it's cut into cubes, and the result is a mixture of whey and curd.
Yummy.
It's then cooked and pressed to release the whey.
Mm.
Fresh cheese curd has a springy or rubbery texture.
Okay.
And the New York Times described that squeak we talked about as two balloons trying to neck.
Balloons trying to make out.
According to Thrillist.com, in an article called A Midwesterner Demystifies Everything You Need to Know About Cheese Curds,
Whoa.
the article asks us to think of cheese curds as baby cheese.
Aw, baby cheese.
When cheddar is formed, they take the curds that were extracted from the whey, they stack them in a process called cheddaring,
Okay.
and then they're actually made into slabs and then molded into wheels or blocks.
Wow.
But for cheese curds, they skip the molding and aging altogether. They go right from the slab into a mill where they're cut into little pieces of soft, mild, and springy cheese.
Wow.
They are then salted and bagged for immediate consumption.
Ooh.
And according to Checkaday.com, National Cheese Curd Day was created by a restaurant called Culver's in 2015.
Ooh.
Culver's is known for a deep-fried cheese curd. Their snack is made by breading the cheese curds, adding herbs and spices, and then deep frying.
Yummy.
That year, they sold over 17.7 million orders of cheese curd.
Holy cow.
And they had some prizes and games and offered a year's supply of curds as their grand prize.
Wow.
And according to Culvers.com, they introduced a little guy named Curdis the Curd.
Aw.
Curdis is a stuffed animal type toy that is shaped like a cheese curd. And Curdis has an Instagram and Twitter account as well. You can check them out online.
Like me.
Culvers and Curdis the Curd, not a sponsor,
No?
but if they were, their ad would go right here. I think we're all aware of cheese curds as snacks or appetizers, and we've just learned about deep-fried cheese curds being really popular.
Yeah.
But did you know another way that cheese curds are very popular?
No.
Have you ever heard of poutine?
Putin, like the Russian guy?
No, not to be confused with the leader of Russia. I said poutine.
Poutine. Ew.
This dish is very popular in Canada, more specifically in the province of Quebec.
Oh.
This is a dish of French fries,
Ooh.
cheese curds,
Ooh.
and it's topped with brown gravy.
Whoa.
According to TasteAtlas.com, the name stems from the French
Oh, boy.
boudin, which refers to the pudding-like filling of sausages.
Okay.
The potatoes for poutine are more coarsely cut than regular fries,
Okay.
and sometimes they're even fried twice, so the exterior remains crispy.
Yum.
Curds are added, they don't melt, but they just soften, and then gravy is made with either beef or chicken stock with the addition of vinegar.
Ooh.
And according to Wikipedia, the dish was created sometime in the late 1950s.
Really?
One of the claims goes to the town of Warwick. In Le Café Ideal,
Oh, boy.
in 1957, they said it'll make a darn mess when asked by a regular to put a handful of cheese curds in a takeout bag of French fries.
Ugh.
The dish poutine shows up on their 1957 menu.
Oh.
And in 1962, they added hot gravy to keep it warm.
Ooh.
The next claim goes to Drummondville.
Okay.
They had a drive-in restaurant that served French fries with gravy.
Wow.
And some customers would ask to add a side order of cheese curd.
Whoa.
The owner began serving the combination in 1958 and added it to the menu in 1964.
Wow.
They originally called it fromage patate sauce.
Oh my.
And they obviously felt that was too long. They
Yeah.
nicknamed it tea-poot, which is a slang word for pudding. They say the restaurant displays a copyright registration certificate issued by the Canadian Intellectual Property Office,
Wow.
which alludes to Roy, owner John Paul Roy, having invented poutine.
Wow.
And a third place in Princeville, they claim that customers would mix cheese curds with their fries, and that combination was added to the menu.
Wow.
One option included gravy, and they called it mixty.
Mixty.
Doesn't seem to matter who invented poutine.
Nope.
It was consumed in small greasy spoon diners, at pubs and roadside chip wagons,
Ooh.
and in hockey arenas.
Oh.
Today, it can be found anywhere from fancy restaurants to Canadian McDonald's.
McDonald's.
It seems there are even festivals dedicated to poutine. The
Wow.
first ever poutine festival was held in Warwick, Quebec in 1993.
Wow.
And this annual event expanded to become the largest cheese festival in all of Canada.
Wow.
And in 2014, it was moved to Victoriaville.
Oh.
In Montreal, they have La Poutine Week.
Wow.
And it spread across Canada and internationally. And by 2021, it had become the largest poutine festival in the world, with over 700 restaurants
Wow.
serving more than 350,000 poutine dishes.
Holy cow.
There are even festivals in the United States dedicated to poutine.
Whoa.
According to MontrealGazette.com, Toronto-based restaurant Smoke's Poutinerie has made the world's richest poutine.
Wow.
It had Wagyu steak,
Ooh.
lobster,
Ooh.
truffle oil, shiitake and chanterelle mushrooms,
Ooh.
kimchi,
Yum.
edible orchids,
Huh?
and $100 worth of gold flakes.
Holy cow.
This dish topped out at $448.17.
What?
And apparently this was part of a promotional campaign for the film Crazy Rich Asians.
Wow.
No matter where you've been introduced to this dish, it is definitely one to try and delicious.
Wow.
Thanks, Quebec, for giving us poutine.
Thanks, Quebec.
It looks like we missed a great party in Ellsworth, Wisconsin.
Aw.
Back in June of this year, they had the Cheese Curd Festival. On the website cheesecurdfestival.com, they're advertising for June of 2023.
Already?
They're going to have 6,000 pounds of cheese curds,
Holy cow.
30 craft beers,
Whoa.
hard ciders, local wines,
Ooh.
20 plus cheese curd food dishes,
Whoa.
live music, tasting, samples, car show, and vendors.
Wow.
Obviously, we missed that one.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for one in October,
Yeah?
I have another.
Ooh, good.
If you happen to be in Milwaukee, they've got their third annual Curd Fest.
Ooh.
It is on October 15th from 11:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Drink Wisconsibly Pub.
Yum.
They're offering a Curd Fest t-shirt, a koozie,
Okay.
participation in a 0.5-mile walk, jog, or run.
That sounds fun.
Of course, cheese curd samples from local vendors.
Yummy. I'm ready for a joke, Fondue.
What did the loser of the cheese curd contest say?
I don't know. What did they say?
I could have won, but I realized there was no way.
Ugh.
Get it? No way.
No.
W-H-E-Y?
You call that a joke?
Oh, you call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it a little bit cheesy. Thanks for listening to Just Cheesy the Podcast, Season 2, Episode 22.
Thank you.
We appreciate all the cheese balls out there listening to us week after week.
Yeah, we do.
We love what we do, and we hope you do too.
Stay cheesy, everybody.